Guys, okay, I just did another shoot, a recording shoot, that won't be posted because I decided I didn't like what I was talking about. So don't worry about that. That was a weak one. Sorry, I'm doing the dishes. So if you hear scuffling or anything, I'm doing the dishes. Can I get a good clap? There we go. Hello, guys, lads, non-binary pals, and non-binary people, or trans people, or demi people, or me. Ooh, wow. My mind's going blank, guys. So you know the normal spaciness I have? Expect that, but times 10, because I'm also on full break. Yeah, and I'm also getting a haircut today. So, this hair, this nasty rat ass hair, it's gonna change. By the way, if I go off camera, like I said, I'm doing the dishes. So, some people requested D&D stories. So I'm going to tell you all the story about how my D&D character, Hade, that was his name, my D&D character, Hade. I'm going to tell you the story of how my D&D character started a cult of kobolds, I believe it was. This was like last year, so you'd think I would remember this. Is my camera laggy? I swear, if my camera was laggy, I'm gonna cry because I don't like editing. Okay. So, my character was the villain of the group. It was a bad character who deserved to die. And I'm not gonna get into all of that. I'm gonna get into some of that. So, the party was entering this cave, and there was a group of kobolds that looked as if they were doing some religious practices. And so, my party was discussing ideas, and I was like, okay, guys, quit and cut the chitter chatter. Guys, I've got such a brilliant idea, it's gonna explode your mind. My character was a dreamed touch, meaning they have a slight glow, and meaning that they have telepathy, so they can communicate with people without actually speaking. So my character goes in and is standing there and is like, I am a god. Telepathically to all the kobolds is like, I am a god, I am your god. And I had to roll, and I think the DM was like, you have to roll like at least a natural 20. And you bet that your boy, me, my mans, I got that 20. And for the rest of the session, I had a party of kobolds. Meaning at the very end of the fight, I brought in kobolds, at the very end of the campaign. And there was this other NPC, his name was Jasper. He was the chill guy. He's a very chill guy. And he was good at fixing things. So the way that the kobolds were summoned into battle was I had this little horn that I would blow. That looked like I was doing weed. I'm not doing weed, guys. I had this little horn that I would blow. And then the kobolds would just appear because I'm a god. What are you gonna do? My character wasn't actually a god, and the party was quote unquote gods in training. That's what we told the kobolds. Worked spectacularly. So I had this little horn that I would blow, and this NPC Jasper was good at fixing things. The problem with the little horn is that it only had 3 uses, and I had already used 2 of them. Because it's D&D, we have a lot of fights, there's going to be a lot of things to do. So, what happened was Jasper fixed it up for me. I was like, hey, Jasper, my buddy, my man's chill guy number 1, the honorary, the first chill guy. Can you fix up this horn for me, my man? And he did. And so I had like 5 more uses on it, I think. It upped it to 5 uses. And that was great until Haid died. The main antagonist was a tyrannical king, which, fun fact about the word tyrant, in like ancient Mesopotamia? In ancient Mesopotamia, the word tyrant was not a bad word. So when you think of the word tyrant now, you think of someone that owns everything, that rules everything. And they're a very bad person. While in ancient Mesopotamia, the word tyrant meant someone that replaced power and was backed by the people. Say the king ups taxes and you don't want to pay all those taxes. Well, someone can be like, hey, support me, be my army, we're going to go overthrow the king, and I'm going to lower taxes. And then if they didn't lower taxes, a new tyrant would come. But anyway, this is the bad sense of tyrannical king. And I don't want to say, like, she was I don't know how to talk about this NPC. So let's get the name out of the way. This NPC named Lydia. She, what else is there to say about her? She was part of a secret society. This secret society, I don't think it had a good name, but the secret society was run by her, and she had a bunch of books, and there were a bunch of books on the main point of this D&D campaign, which were these crystals that contained light, and that drove away the darkness, and the darkness was killing the entire kingdom, and the king had a lot of crystals to fight back from the darkness, and my party had stolen crystals, which kind of killed some people. But that's not the point of Lydia. Lydia was this old woman who, she wasn't old as in old for an elf, she was old as in old for a person. But for an elf, she was middle-aged, we'll say. And she was so mean to my character because my character didn't trust her. My character thought that she was going to be the secret big bad. She wasn't the secret big bad, but she did have a secret, and I'll get to that later. But my character thought that Lydia was the secret big bad, so my character hated Lydia, loved Jasper. Jasper's the one that fixed the horn. Jasper's a chill guy. Lydia, not a chill guy. Lydia gave my character a picture book because my character was looking for a book on crystals, and Lydia gave my character a book on crystals, and I was like, this is a picture book. And my whole party burst out laughing, and now that's been a running joke in several campaigns. We've had 2. We're in our second one, and that has been a joke in all the one-shots, in the train campaign, which is the one that we're doing right now, and in the original campaign, which is where the joke started, where my characters now, forever and ever and ever, my characters only read picture books, apparently. So whenever there's an important book, it's got to be a picture book. So Lydia and my character are beefing for better words that you guys will understand. I'm not saying all of you guys are like Gen Alpha. I'm Gen Alpha. Fun fact to tricksters. I'm not releasing my birthday. Oh, it's February 7th. I'm not going to tell you the year, though. I like to keep my age a little hush-hush. And I like to keep my real name a little hush-hush, even though it's probably been said on my channel several points in times. I like to keep that stuff hush-hush. But, what was I just saying? I was saying something. Oh, no. So, I'm not ADHD. I'm not this much of a scatterbrain unless I'm talking to someone, or unless I'm doing something, or unless I'm recording one of these story times. I love you guys so much. Speaking of, 400 subscribers is crazy for this channel, which you're like, oh, that's sad, because you see big creators that I like Markiplier. Markiplier one of my favorite creators. I have been watching him for so long, but like you see big creators like Markiplier who have 37 million subscribers. And then you see me with just 416 subscribers. But that's 400 people. Imagine if I threw a house party and all of you guys came and it would be like 400 people. It's great. And my most popular video has gone mini viral, which it's an old video, but it has 10K views. If you know which one I'm talking about, you're a real one. I don't know why I just finger gunned at the camera. Ooh, I don't know why I'm so scatterbrained. Okay. We're gonna calm down. We're gonna calm down. My stomach hurts. Okay. Trying to get the dishes done relatively quickly. Like before 2. It's almost 1. So that's fun. I was talking about D&D stories. I was talking about Lydia. I'm not sure what I was saying about Lydia. But Lydia. So we get to later in the campaign. And it's the final boss fight. Like, the king has broken into the secret society. Our party is split up because always split the party. That's just something everyone should do. You always split the party. The party split up. 2 people are in a bag of holding, but they're in, like, a dimension inside the bag of holding. So then you have the other, like, 3 or 4 people. And I had to leave before the end of the session. So it was like our final boss fight, and then I had to go. I think I had tech or something. I know I had something to do, because I had to leave early. It might have been marching band. But I left, and I didn't know what happened until the next time. I had my friend play Hade for me, because Hade, like I've been saying, is my character, and I had to leave, and Hade was kind of important because they were for the king. Everyone else was against the king, right? But Hade was a stereotypical white guy. The only thing against him was that he was gay. But the king could have been gay. So, who knows? Maybe the king was gay. And Hade was a stereotypical white pretty boy. He was a pretty boy. Where was I going with this? I don't know. Gosh, I would never be able to get away with murder because there's too much to say in too little time. I talk too much. So if I've ever done a crime, you guys would know, which means I haven't. Words, and words. More words. I'm yapping. I don't know how many of you guys like my singing, but that's not the point. I'm not going to talk about improv singing, because I've done that already, I think, unless that was in the last shoot, which I didn't. I'm not going to upload the last shoot. Jeezums, Louisums, I can't talk. I've been yapping forever. Not the longest story time I've had. Okay, so Lydia, I was told this after the campaign. Lydia turned out to be a dragon. And that's kind of important because earlier in the campaign, back with that cult of kobolds that I started talking about, their base was in a cave, and the cave housed this giant crystallish cave, which it was like a giant cave full of really pretty crystals, but the crystals, upon impact, would explode. Yeah, my DM gave a party of teenagers the power to make bombs with crystals. It was fun. This is gonna be loud. It was loud. I'm not wrong. It was loud. But there was this dragon in the cave. There's gonna be water. Oh, I might have to hold off on this. Why are you cold? This water is cold. Stop it. I have the heat on. Warm up. I command thine to be warm. There we go. Jeez. We have to wait for water. But it's only a small amount of dishes, so it's probably not going to be a lot of water. I might get this done around like 11:10. Not 11:10. like 110. You gotta go. Am I still on camera? Yes, I am. You guys, if any of you remember vlogs, I would vlog, except I don't want to take a camera out whenever I'm doing something, because then that's a lot of editing, and I'm not good at editing, and I'm not big enough of a channel to have an editor. So fun. But I was talking about Lydia in the end of the campaign. So Lydia was a dragon the whole time. The elf lady that I didn't like, and I was like, she's got a secret, she's probably the big bad evil guy. She was a dragon. She wasn't the big bad evil guy. She was a good guy. Kind of. She killed people. But that's not the point of the campaign. She turned out to be a dragon. And the dragon in the cave of crystals that I was talking about, because there was a tiny little dragon in there, and it was sleeping for most of the campaign. It wasn't dead. It was asleep. Lydia was that dragon's mother. Lydia, the elf lady, was the wife of an ancient lost dragon. And no, Lydia wasn't that dragon's mother. She was that dragon's husband. Those are two very different things. But still. So plot twist, Lydia's a dragon. Her hubby has been in a cave for a while. And it's just crazy. And that's one of the D&D campaigns that I've done. It's really juvenile, I think, a lot of the things that I do, because I don't know where I belong, you know? Like, I'm queer. Obviously, I belong in the queer community, and I'm sure many of you guys can relate to that. But I mean personality-wise, because I emulate things. I'm not a copycat per se, but if you do something, I might emulate it. I am undiagnosed, but my parents think I'm bipolar. There's no diagnosis that I'm bipolar, but it's assumed. What was I just talking about? Something bipolar. What was it before? I don't know where I belong. I'm a guy, but not biologically yet. And due to where the government's at right now in the United States, that might never happen here, which is fun. I wear pink. I'm part of my band's social leadership team. I get good grades, but good grades only go so far. I want to go to a college for creative writing. And I decided that about a year and a half ago, that I wanted to go to college for creative writing. Because in my 6th grade year, I was struggling. But it was math that I struggled the most with. So math isn't a career that I'd want to go into. And then a year and a half ago, we had our poetry unit, which I'm a published author. I have published a poetry book. I'm working on the second one, which is more of a journal than a book. But I've published it. I'm a published poet. And so I'm good at poetry. People tell me that I'm good at poetry. So that's what I'm going to go to school for. I also like theater. So theater and creative writing. That's what has been decided. And my dream college is a college in London. Is London that much better than the United States when it comes to trans issues? No, not necessarily. But also, I just want to get out of America. But I don't know if that's what I want to do for college. It's something that everyone knows me for. Like, oh, that's L.A.L.A. They're going to go to college. They're going to do things. They have a plan for after high school. They already know what college they want to go to. They already know how much the tuition is. They worry about their GPA. They worry about their grades, even though their grades are never below a B. like, my GPA is a 2.7 right now, and it's going to go up at the end of the semester, but now is only the end of quarter one, so I still have a while to wait. And I can't afford a low GPA because good colleges. I don't know if I want to go to college for writing. I mean, I could be an software engineer. I could code. I'm not good at coding. But I could be an engineer of some kind. I could be something more kinesthetic. I could be something less competitive. But who are we kidding? Every field is competitive. No matter what you do, there's going to be competition. But an author, even if you are the best author or the best poet of your time, there's no realization, there's no recognition, right? Like, you could be the next Rick Riordan or the next Shakespeare, and no one sees your work because it's such a saturated, it's just such a saturated area. It's a saturated profession. So even if you are the best, even if you write something and you have like 1,000 fans, that's only 999 people plus one more person, which one of those people, or like at least one of them, is probably someone you know. It's just numbers games. And I want something that, yeah, I can do it and be happy, but my job's not going to be secure. Like, everyone around me, they're like, oh, I want to be a nurse, or a marine biologist, or a cosmetologist, or a meteorologist, or an astrologist, or something. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a writer. I'm going to take journalism class when I can. I write poetry. I've won like a poetry competition once, maybe. But all I have to show is that I'm a published author on Amazon, and that's it. And that's not as impressive. You see a bunch of people writing a book. You don't need a degree to write a book. And all of my interests, I'm not gonna get a good paying job for. Like, I like theater. I really like theater. Improv theater is my favorite. But I'm not gonna get paid for doing improv theater. I'm not gonna always have job security if I do improv theater. Like, you see theater groups like Shoot from the Hip, right? They're one of my favorite improv theater groups. I love them so much. I watched their live stream yesterday with Tom and Luke. Love those two. They're some of my favorites. Sam, Luke, and Tom are my top tiers. AJ is good too. But, like, I'm not gonna be them. I'm not gonna be the next Luke, or I'm not gonna be the next Shakespeare, or I'm not gonna be the next anything at this point, because everything I want to go into is so hard. Broadway, there's people that audition for Broadway because they really want to and because they need to. And they don't make it. Like, they go to every audition. They audition for 7 shows in a row, and they don't make even a single one of them as even ensemble. And with music, right? I play flute. I want a second instrument as oboe. I'm not good at flute. I'm only 4th chair. I'm 4th chair out of 6 flutes. There's 6 of us. And you have 1st, 2nd, 3rd. They're good. They're great. And you got me. I'm on the cusp of being good. Like, with grades, I have good grades. I have all A pluses, except for like 1 B plus or 1 A right now. That's good. It's not great. One of them, I think, might be an A minus. So that's almost great. Not quite. And try harder. Be better. With poetry, I'm not motivated to write poetry anymore. I don't want to write poetry anymore. And that's what everyone knows that I'm going to do. So, in reality, I'm screwed. I can't just switch up and be like, oh, you guys know that thing? I was like, you gotta, I'm gonna be doing this, and I fix your grammar because everyone knows me as a language arts person. I'm a freshman in high school, and my language arts is at a senior. Yeah, my language arts is at a senior level. But that's as far as I'm gonna get. That's all I have. Language arts is all I have, and I don't even want to do it. I'm not good at math. I mean, sure, I get my work done in math. I have an A+ in algebra right now. I'm supposed to be in honors math. My math teacher was supposed to move me up, but you can't skip algebra. So, no, I can't be in honors math anymore. And, like, science been my worst grade. Biology, I got a D on a really hard test. Like, there were plenty of people that got C's and C+. I should have at least gotten a C+ because I'm one of the smart kids. And what do I get? I get a D. A high D? No, just a D. It was a 60 out of 100 or something, because that's how grades work. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I like music, but all I can do is sing. I'm great at poetry. A lot of people really like my poetry. I'm not motivated for that anymore. Could be an actual book author, but Lord knows there's plenty of those. Can't do anything in the religious field because I'm not claimed to a certain religion. I don't have any signified religion. I do color guard, but you can't have a job doing color guard. I mean, it ends in high school. Everything ends in high school, and I only have 3 more years of high school left. And then my freshman year. I have to end my freshman year, and then I have 3 more. And I have a dream college, which, sure, I'm going to get out of the United States, which is what I've always wanted, and what I do want. But it's going to be competitive. It's going to be away from home. I don't want to be at home, but I don't want to leave everything either. Everyone's like, oh, I'm going to go to Ball State. I'm going to go to Indiana College XY. Or I'm going to go maybe 1 or 2 states away. I'm going a whole different country away. I don't know how to do anything. And that's just it. I'm good, but I'm not good enough. There's a character in a book that I like. The book is Unwind. There's this character, Risa. She's good, but she's not good enough. The premise of Unwind is that between the ages of 13 and 18, later it gets changed to 17, between the ages of 13 and 18, you can be unwound if your parents order you to. Unwound, which I think I've talked about this book before, Unwound is where you're technically alive, but you're dead. It's like donating your organs, but everything stays alive. So in a sense, you don't technically die, but also it's like dying. And our character Risa, she gets ordered by the state to be unwound because she lives in what's called a state home. And she gets ordered to be unwound because she had this big music recital and she was good, but not great. Her grades, they're good, not great. Her skills, good, not great. There's a saying that I hear called Jack of all trades, master of none. I'm a jack of all trades and I'm a master of none. I'm good, but not great. I'm not average, but I'm not that high above average. Last year in my school, which last year was the last year that I'll have to take state testing. So last year in my school, there was state testing for math, and only a few people got an average. I was one of those people that got average. So for my grade, for my grade level in my personal school, I was great. But it's not above average at a state level. I'm good, but not great. And I was like in the average of average. I wasn't low average. I was middle average. Good, not great. Which begs the question, I have 3 years, right? I have this year and next year, and then I have to start looking at colleges for real, and I know I want it to be in London. I just don't know what I want my major to be. And then the year after that is signing up for colleges, applying for colleges. But yeah, I've told everyone that I'm gonna do language arts. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do creative writing with theater, and that's what I'm gonna do. And if I stray from that path, then sure. But I only have my life figured out to college. I don't have my life figured out after my first year of college. I don't have my life figured out financially. I don't have my life figured out in what I'm gonna do after college. I don't want to peak in college. Veronica Sawyer, if you know Heathers, you know that she's waiting for college. Doesn't have a plan for after. And I don't have a plan for after. I think that's going to be my downfall. Because I don't know what I'm going to do. And everyone else seems to know what they're going to do. And I seem to have a better understanding of what I want to do than several people in my grade. But that doesn't mean I do. Sorry, this got kind of like a rant. I'm ranting. God, this is dumb. I'm not gonna cut this out. I don't like editing, so I'm not gonna cut this out. I have to finish up dishes. It's 1:07. I'll see you guys later. Whether I post a next storytime video or whether it's a gotcha video. Thank you for how well my gotcha videos have been doing. Since I've returned to YouTube, I've been getting like 1,000 views on average. So yeah, and I will see you guys next time.